Hey, it's John McCabe. Welcome to the show. Hey, welcome to the John A. McCabe Show, where it's all about accelerating your authority in your business or field of expertise. And I do that by helping entrepreneurs, business owners, authors, experts, and speakers get seen, get heard, get noticed on any device, anywhere, anytime, in as little as 15 hours, also known as the Authority Acceleration Blueprint. Now, as an entrepreneur, you went into business because chances are your desired outcome is to be financially free, to do what you want, when you want, with whomever you want. You want the freedom to be able to make the choices you want and have more options in your life. Not only that, but you may have a burning desire to help people with your unique talents and gifts. You do that by serving people who have specific challenges related to your field of expertise, the products or services you sell. Now, elevating your business to be able to sell more products or services or serve more people needing your help is really about growing and building your presence, getting in front of more of the right people with the right message. Now, on today's show, Business Strategy Tuesday, I'm going to share with you the #1 strategy that every business, entrepreneur, author, expert, and speaker needs to focus on right now in order to grow your business, grow your brand, and increase your celebrity status in the next 100 days. Let's face it, doing business in today's world is much different than it was 10 to 15 years ago. Yeah, there's a lot of similarities, such as people still do business with people, and customer service and relationships are still key to happy and repeat customers in business. But the method in which you get people in the door or get them to pick up the phone to call you has definitely changed. The old methods of advertising, such as newspapers, TVs, and radio spots, are dying and decreasing as more and more people are getting their news online, listening to podcasts in their car instead of the radio, fast forwarding through commercials, or watching shows on Netflix, Hulu, Crackle, iTunes, and Amazon Prime. Newspaper subscriptions are down. The number of people actually relying on the paper for their news has substantially decreased as today's generation moves online for just about everything. Now, just as the TV replaced the radio shortly after it was introduced to the world, the smartphone has now replaced the TV. People are consuming more content on their smartphones than any other device today, and they consume that information on a variety of different platforms in a number of different mediums, from videos to audio podcasts to books to news, entertainment to images, and so much more. Today, relying on just one platform or just one strategy or always asking for the sale will not get you noticed everywhere you want to be. It will not position you as a go-to person in your business or field of expertise, and it will not turn you into the celebrity or the authority in your marketplace. But what if there was a simple and easy way for you to become a celebrity in your marketplace, be the expert or the authority everyone looked up to? Where everywhere people turned, whether it be looking on their phones, smart TVs, laptops, or tablets. Being everywhere, delivering value, consumable content, so you build a following of raving fans who get to know you, like you, and trust you. Would you be interested in finding out more? Well, if you said yes, then you're in the right place at the right time. Because when I come back, I'm going to walk you through what it takes to grow your business, grow your brand, and increase your celebrity status over the next 100 days. So stick around, I'll be right back. Hey, and thanks for joining us today. Today is Business Strategy Tuesday, where we focus on specific strategies that you can introduce into your business or field of expertise that will make your life easier, more automated, attract more attention, and much more. As entrepreneurs, we all struggle with various aspects of our business, and it's watching shows like this, reaching out to coaches, consultants, and advisors who can help you move your business forward to the shortest amount of time. Now, regardless of where you are in your business, today I'm going to be sharing with you what you can do over the next 100 days to grow your business, grow your brand, and increase your celebrity status. This is also known as the accelerating your authority. Now, the #1 reason you should care about being the authority in your marketplace is so that you're top of mind. Meaning when someone talks about a particular area of business or a particular industry that you're in, then you want to be the top of their mind. You want to be the on the tip of their tongue. You want to be the person that they're talking about. You want to be one of the people that they think of automatically. You want to be the Apple, the Starbucks, the Amazon of your industry. You want to be the industry leader so that you're the first name people say when they're talking about your industry. And you do that by establishing and elevating your celebrity status or your authority. And what's important about this is you can start from absolutely zero. It's super low risk, and you can do it practically with no budget. Also, if you're not techie, afraid to be on camera, or can't write, don't worry. I'm going to show you some strategies and resources that don't require you to do it all or to know it all. So who's this for? Business owners, entrepreneurs, authors, experts, speakers. It doesn't really matter if you have a traditional brick and mortar business, a service-based business, if you're a coach, consultant, you run an online business. It doesn't matter. But what I'm about to share with you today works in any industry and any business model. Now, when you implement the strategies I'm going to share with you today, then over the next 100 days, you'll see a dramatic increase in your audience, your reach, your engagement, and even in your income if you do it correctly. What I like to do first is just lay a little bit of foundation or a little bit of background. So what I like you to do is imagine that if you could attract those leads and opportunities, hundreds or thousands of people each month. What you want is imagine being everywhere that they turn when they're searching, whether they're in their car, maybe they're in their bedroom, their office, or living room, maybe they're in the washroom, who knows, but they're on their phone. Typically they're on their phone searching. And imagine being everywhere that they're searching, providing value and content in formats such as videos, audio podcasts, books, articles, blogs, images, and so much more. Being seen when they go on different platforms like YouTube and Facebook and Twitter, LinkedIn, Pinterest, and even to your website, where you're connecting and you're engaging and moving them to take action without blatantly asking for the sale. Now imagine how quickly you could become financially free if you were doing that, and every single week you had an extra 1, 5, 10 customers or clients contacting you wanting your help. Customers who already know you. They feel like they like you, they trust you, they're familiar with you and your product or your service, and it feels like it's the solution that's going to solve their problems, whatever the problems are that they have, that your solution helps them with. That's what happens when you effectively target your audience, create your celebrity status, and accelerate your authority. There we go. So my goal for you today is to help you understand the number one strategy you need to be employing in your business right now, and to build and grow your celebrity status in the next 100 days. And for you to walk away from this show with the knowledge, resources, and motivation to take action now, because really that's what it boils down to. Learning what you need to do, putting in place a blueprint and actually taking action on that blueprint. Because let's face it, 100 days will go by anyway. So you might as well take the necessary steps in order to grow your celebrity status and accelerate your authority during that 100 days, because it's going to go by anyway. And when you start implementing this strategy in your business effectively on a consistent, persistent basis, then you're going to get more leads, you're going to get more customers, and you're good chance you're going to increase your profit as well. Now, the question you might be asking yourself is, how can I use this stuff in my business right now? That's the question you want to be asking yourself, not the opposite statement is, here's why I can't do this. So don't come up with excuses. Ask yourself, how can I implement this into my business right now as we're going through this? Come into this with an open mind. I guarantee you're going to get something out of it that will see some great success for you. Now, the number one thing that every business or entrepreneur, author, expert, speaker needs to focus on right now is attention. Every company needs to get attention in this noisy, busy space. It's generally always been that way. However, the playing field is a little bit different. It's a little different landscape. And the number one strategy that you need to employ right now is thinking and acting like a media company first and foremost. So it doesn't matter what business you're in. If you're a college, if you help college kids get money for your to go to college, then you need to be a media business first, and then secondary business is getting people money to go to college. Or if you're a personal trainer, you need to be a media company first, and then you help people with their with personal training services. If you do digital marketing, or you create funnels for people, sales funnels for people, you need to be a marketing or a media company first, and then you provide services for digital marketing or creating sales funnels. So you need to consider yourself to be a media company first and foremost. And you want to go where all the eyeballs and the ears are looking and listening. And nowadays, that's not commercials or listening to the radio or newspapers or magazines. Advertising in those areas is just pointless, in my opinion. Generally, eyes and ears are focused on their smartphones or tablets or computers, and they're in a variety of different platforms at any given time throughout the day. So you need to get yourself in front of these people with a message that's going to resonate with them. Now, before you run out and execute your strategy of being a media company, you're going to need to understand some things that will make your strategy much more effective. You need to have a blueprint or a formula. Now, think of it like building a house. You need to have blueprints so that you know what materials you need, where to make the openings for the doors, the windows, how long the lumber needs to be before you cut it, where you're going to put the plumbing, where you're going to put the electrical. You need to have a blueprint or a formula to understand what is actually going to take place. And it's no different from this. You need to have that blueprint or that formula in place prior to actually getting started. So what I'm going to walk through next is I'm going to help you understand what that blueprint looks like and give you a good idea how you're going to execute it over the next 100 days. Okay. So now before I have you go out there and you start rushing out, creating content all over the place, I think it's important, just like when you build a home, it's really important to lay that foundation, because you can't build a house without a foundation of some kind. Or else it's going to crumble, it'll fall apart. Just like your content, you're going to miss the mark. It's not going to be effective if you really don't lay that foundation. So you need to lay the foundation of your strategy. Now, the first thing is, what is your desired outcome of this overall strategy? Obviously, you eventually want people to be able to sell people products or services. That's truly your desired outcome. So that is what you have in mind, in implementing this strategy. You're looking further ahead at, okay, I eventually want people to buy my products or services. Now, the second thing is, how are you going to accomplish that? Now, you want to get the audience to know you, to like you, to trust you, and you're going to do that by delivering them valuable content that's really relevant to them. Okay, and you're going to do that over a variety of different platforms. Now, the third thing is you want to move the audience along the temperature gauge. So what that means is, there's a cold audience, which is people that have never heard of you before. They don't know who you are. So you need to take that cold audience and move them along the gauge until they become a warm audience. And those are people that may have heard of you. Maybe they've downloaded something that you've offered them for free. They consume some of your content. They're aware of you in the marketplace. And then you move them to the hot audience, which are your raving fans. Those are the people that actually buy your products or services. So the objective is to move them from the cold audience to the hot audience. Okay, that's the objective of the strategy that you're going to put forward when you're trying to build up your celebrity status or accelerate your authority. Now, you also need to have a very clear understanding of things such as who your ideal target market is and who they are not. What are things that they're interested in, and what do they care about? What are their pains, fears, frustrations, or ambitions? What is their desired outcome in when they are looking at using a product or service such as yours? How is your solution going to help them achieve their desired outcome? What benefits does your solution offer them or give them as a result of them using it? What have they tried already that's not worked? If they had a magic wand, what would be their ideal solution? So it's really imperative, and I talk about this constantly on the show, is understanding your ideal target market and being very clear on the language and their desires and the benefits that they're looking for when it comes to your product or service. Because without that information, a lot of the content that you're going to be putting out there is not going to resonate with them unless you know this stuff. It's just like throwing mud on the wall, hope something sticks. So you want to use this information. You want to understand all of this. It's really laying the foundation of your house. Before you start building anything over top of it, you want to have that foundation built. So understanding a lot of these things is crucial when it comes to attracting the type of people that you want to do business with and repelling the people that you don't want to do business with. So before you run out and start implementing the next stages of your strategy that I'm going to lay out for you, it's important that you get the groundwork laid and build that foundation of information, because that foundation of information will drive the rest of the strategy moving forward. It's going to, be part of a lot of the content that you're going to be talking about in your future, in the information that you're going to be presenting to your potential audience. Okay, so we've gone through the formula and we laid out the foundation. Now it's time to start executing the plan. It's at this stage where actually I didn't actually go through the formula, so just let me go through the formula right now. So you can see it on the screen. It's this is the authority acceleration formula. It's 1, 10, 100. And just let me walk you through what that means. The number 1 actually means 1 hour of content creation per week. So what you'll need to do is create 1 hour of content creation per week. Now, I highly recommend that you do 1 hour of video creation primarily focused on Facebook Live, because Facebook has given a lot of attention to the Facebook Live platform. So you'll want to create 1 hour of content through Facebook Live per week to start your authority acceleration formula, or to build your celebrity status. So 1 hour a week, you're going to focus your time on creating that content. Now, whether that be 2 30-minute shows or one hour show like this one, it's creating that 1 hour of content per week. Now, the next item is the 10. Now, that stands for 10 hours of distribution and engagement per week. So once you create that 1 hour of content, you're going to spend 10 hours per week distributing that content in a variety of different formats to a variety of different platforms, and engaging with people on those platforms that engage with you, or you're reaching out and engaging with other people that haven't yet engaged with you, but you feel that they're part of your ideal target market or part of your demographic. So for that 1 hour of content that you're going to create per week, you're going to spend 10 hours that week distributing and engaging in that content. And you're going to do that for 100 days consecutively. So the 100 stands for doing this for 100 consecutive days. So if you're doing 1 hour a week and you're spending 10 hours a week engaging and distributing that content, so what I recommend is you spread that 10 hours out over the 7 days. So you're not doing 10 hours all in one day. You spend a couple hours each day of the 7 days a week, or 2 hours a day, 5 days a week, in order to distribute and engage that content. And you continue this for a minimum of 100 days. So what you've then done is build up your content. You've distributed it out there to the variety of different platforms. So what I'm saying is that 1 hour of video that you create from Facebook Live, you need to repurpose that 1 hour video, which we're going to talk about a little bit further in the program, is taking that 1 hour of video and actually repurposing it throughout the platforms, so that you can put it in different mediums for people to be able to consume. So it doesn't all. So you don't want it all in one medium. You want a variety of different mediums, and you want it on a variety of different platforms. Okay, so that 10 hours is spent doing that, and the 100 hours, or the 100 days, is the time frame in which you need to do this process consistently, persistently, for a minimum of 100 days. So that's where you're at. So a lot of people will get to this point. Okay, they understand it. Okay, I need to spend an hour a week creating content. I need to lay the foundation. I need to understand who my ideal target market is. Okay, I got that point. I understand all of that. I'm educated. However, it's the next stage where a lot of people will stop. And here's why: because they actually stumble with a lot of the challenges that they actually have. So what are some of those challenges? Well, the first challenge is strategy. Okay, so there's different things that are, when it comes to the strategy. The first one is the content strategy for maximum repurposing. Now, what that means is if you're going to spend 1 hour creating your Facebook Live show, like I do, I actually have a strategy when I deliver this show, and the strategy is designed for maximum amount of repurposing of this content. So one thing you'll notice is I'm always reintroducing either the topic or the guest. So I'm reintroducing that on a regular basis. So that enables me to create an editable clip. So from the time I reintroduce to the next time I start to reintroduce, that becomes a clip. So having a strategy, a repurposing strategy to maximize the 1 hour that I'm delivering this content, I want to maximize that 1 hour to get the greatest amount of repurposed content in the future. And the next thing is embedding calls to action within your content. So as you're doing your 1 hour show, you want to have some consistent calls to action within the content, as well as when you're repurposing it, there wants to be some calls to action, not blatant sales calls to action, but calls to action that are embedded within the content itself, or that you're actually going to give people something else of value, maybe in exchange for their name of email. So the strategy of really understanding that strategy of embedding those calls to action within the content itself, so it just seems natural. So it doesn't seem all salesy, like a typical sleazy salesman strategy. You're just doing it, embedding it, so that you understand. So when the person reading it just seems like it's so natural to click on the link and to download what it is that you want them to consume. And the next part of the strategy is scheduling the distribution on the various platforms. So a lot of people aren't quite sure how to actually, what strategy to use when they're trying to schedule the content. And what platforms should they be scheduling content on? So understanding these aspects of the strategy and the strategy for engaging with others on the particular content. So a lot of people struggle, they don't even get started, and some of the challenges that come up is one of the main ones is the strategy. They're not quite understanding the strategy behind all of the things that actually have to take place. And the next one is time. Time is a huge factor for a lot of people. They just don't feel that they have the actual time to do all of this. It's not just the time in actually doing it, but it's the structuring, the planning, and the executing of the strategy. So you may only be consuming or creating 1 hour of content per week, but how long does it actually take you to create that 1 hour of content? How long is it, the strategy behind it, the planning of the content, how long does it actually take you time-wise to actually deliver that 1 hour session? And the next thing is the time involved in repurposing the content for the distribution. Now, that is taking that 1 hour of content and turning it into blogs, to articles, to a video podcast, to an audio podcast, creating some social tweets or some social posts, creating images with sayings from the content that you can use on things like Pinterest or Instagram. So the time that it takes to repurpose that content, a lot of people struggle with the time to do all of that. And the next thing is the time spent distributing that content across all these different platforms. So going in on a regular daily basis, spending that 2 hours a day distributing on the content. And the next piece, engaging with others. So spending that 2 hours a day consistently, persistently, uploading the new content, distributing it to the various platforms, and then engaging with people as well. So a lot of people struggle with the time aspect of this particular strategy. And the next one are the skills involved. So a lot of people may not have the skills it takes to produce their own branded live show like this one. anyone can just take their cell phone and click on the live button and create a live stream to Facebook and actually do their show that way. It's very easy. It's very simple. It's not complicated. Just about everyone has a smartphone, so they can do that. But a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of business people, they want the branded Facebook live show like this one is, that has a lot of branding in it. So they don't have the skills involved they may not have the necessary skills right now involved to putting all of that together, making a show like that, structuring this. They may not have the skills involved when it comes to structuring the show for repurposing. So like I said, this show is very, very specifically designed with repurposing in mind. So maybe you don't have the information or the knowledge you need to understand, well, how can I structure a show to get the maximum amount of repurposing possible. Maybe you don't have the skills to create the graphics, to do the editing of the video or the audio. Those just aren't in your skill set. You know your business. You're not a graphic designer or a video or audio editor, and maybe you don't have the skills needed to write effective blogs, articles, or notes for the video pages. So these are skills that an individual would need as well, and these are some challenges that people are faced with. Well, I want to do this, John, but I'm not I don't have the skills to produce a live show, or I can't create the graphics or do the editing for all that repurposing. I don't really get the structure that you're putting together for the repurposing of the show. I'm not a great writer, so writing articles and blogs effectively that are going to get people to move them to take action. Not quite sure how that all works. And the next thing a lot of people may not have, or they have challenges with, are the resources to get all of this stuff done. And the first resource is having the software or hardware of running a branded Facebook show. Now, I just talked to one of my private clients just before the show. She wanted to know how much the software was that I used to actually run this show. So I use Wirecast 7 Pro 7.2. And I believe the cost is somewhere around $800 US for the Wirecast. Now there's also Mimo Live that you can use as well to do a branded show like this. So I'm not sure what the cost or the investment is for Mimo Live, but so a lot of people don't have those resources of either the hardware or the software. So the software to produce a show, or the hardware, such as, I have a camera connected to a Ultra Studio mini recorder that connects to my laptop, that connects to my Wirecast. So, that's some of the hardware that's involved in producing this branded show. Or you have the Mimo camera with the Mimo Live, where you can create the branded show using that as well. People just don't have that hardware or that software. And maybe they don't have the editing software for editing video or audio. That's another challenge people have. Well, I don't want to go out and invest in all this hardware or software. I don't want to, have to sit and learn all this stuff. It's not productive for me and my business. I'm better. My time is better spent engaging with people and talking to people about my business than it is learning all of these different strategies, or learning all these new skills. And the next one is the software for creating graphics. A lot of that stuff you can actually just get online or use online services such as Canva, for example. But you still need to have some sort of an eye for graphic design. So having those skills, a lot of people are challenged by not having those skills, or outsourcers in all the skill sets required. So finding outsourcers that you can work with on all of these different skills is in itself challenging. Finding the right people that can do a lot of this stuff is a process in itself. It's taken me years and years and a lot of different outsourcers to eventually find the people that I can work with that can produce this type of stuff for me, so I don't have I don't actually have to do a lot of this myself. But it took a lot of trial and error and a lot of money invested to work with a lot of people that just didn't work out. They couldn't produce what I wanted them to produce, so it took a long time. So those are a lot of the skills that a lot of people don't necessarily have. So those are a lot of the challenges that people are faced with. The strategy, the not understanding the strategy. They don't have the time. They don't have the skill sets, or they don't have the resources to be able to do all this stuff and implement this strategy that I'm talking about. So what I'm going to get into in just a second is a possible solution for people that may find themselves challenged right now in implementing this over the next 100 days. So if you're just joining me, I'm sharing with you the #1 strategy that every business, entrepreneur, author, expert, and speaker needs to focus on right now in order to grow your business, grow your brand, increase your celebrity status in the next 100 days. You used to need a production company, a TV network, agents, and PR people to build up your celebrity status or authority. But now that world has changed, and today I'm sharing with you the right ingredients to help you take advantage of that opportunity. Just as the TV replaced the radio shortly after it was introduced to the world, the smartphone has now replaced the TV. People are consuming more content on their smartphones than any other device today. And they consume that information on a variety of different platforms in a number of different mediums, from videos to audio podcasts to books, news, entertainment to images, and so much more. So really nowadays you need a strategy that's going to help you achieve all of this and so much more. So if you have any questions, just type them in chat, and I'll just go and see if there's any relevant comments that about the show. Let's see. Andy Lockwood has a serious question. How can you get all this content repurposing done without breaking the bank? I don't have McCabe's money, but who does, come to think of it? So actually, Andy, I'm just about to share with you, a way that potentially you could move forward and get all this done without investing all the time, without having all the skills, without investing a lot in the resources and so if anyone's challenged with a lot of that stuff, it is quite costly to even just to get started on your own, to invest what you need to have in order to do a lot of this stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk through a solution that potentially could help you out. I just want to welcome Joanne to the show as well, and my mother made it on. Welcome, Mom. And I see you and Andy are playing nicely in the chat today. Thanks for that. And like I said, if you're just joining me, I'm sharing with you how to increase your celebrity status or accelerate your authority in 100 days. And what I'd like to do now is I'd like to talk about a solution. So we've looked at understanding the formula. We've laid the foundation of understanding who your ideal target market is, the pains, fears, frustrations, ambitions. We've looked at a lot of that stuff. We now understand many of the challenges that a lot of you may be faced with at this point, whether it be time, whether it be the strategy, whether it be the resources, whether it be the skills. A lot of people will get to the point and then they just won't execute because of all of these challenges. So now I'm going to lay out a solution I think you might find attractive and at the very least intriguing. So just let me go to my screen here. And so what I'm looking to introduce today is the Authority Acceleration Done For You services, and I'm just going to walk you through how all of this actually works on a weekly basis. So here we go. So here's I just want to walk through a lot of these images on this screen. So if you're looking at, this is per week. So you notice at the very top of the chart, that's a Facebook Live icon. So what we do is we actually help you produce a branded Facebook Live show. You don't need to have the software. You don't need to have the hardware. You don't need to worry about the structure. We help you with all of that. We even help you with some of the language, some of the scripting, and we help you deliver that 1 hour per week of Facebook Live. So all that you are responsible for, so the only time commitment on your part is being in front of the camera, working with us to collaborate on the information that you're going to deliver during that 1 hour, but working on just being in front of the camera for either 2 30-minute segments or a 1 hour segment where you're actually delivering on the content. And that is the extent of your time commitment. So we help you with the hardware, we help you with the software. We'll actually run it through our system. We're using various systems that you're sitting in front of your camera, and we're pulling in the feed, and then we're doing all of the branding of the show, the switching around, the bringing in of videos, of images, of graphics, things like that. We're doing all of that stuff for you live in real time. So you actually have a producer, a director, somebody that's actually working with you on your live show. You actually get that, and all you have to do is sit in front of your show and deliver on the content as per the structure that's laid out. And that structure is designed to help you get maximum repurposing value out of this content. So once you actually deliver on the 1 hour of content, you see the rest of it is all the things that we do. So we're going to help you with that 1 hour show, and that's your time commitment for that 1 week, is that 1 hour show. We're going to help you build it. We're going to help you script it. And then you just sit there and you do the 1 hour show. So what we're going to take from that 1 hour show is, here's what we're going to do for you, is we're going to get that 1 hour show transcribed. So we'll get the audio video transcribed into written word format. We're going to take the video, we're going to edit it, and we're going to turn it into a video podcast, as well as we'll extract the audio and get it turned into an audio podcast. So from that 1 hour episode, you're now going to have a video podcast, an audio podcast, and you're going to have the transcript of the actual show itself. And from there, we're going to create a long form article that will get uploaded to your LinkedIn account. We're going to create a blog designed to get people to take action by opting into something and post that on your website. You'll receive notes for the video that will get uploaded to your YouTube channel with the video, as well as a different set of notes that get put on the video blog when the actual video is posted on your website, and the notes that follow the video as to what you're talking about, specific things at certain times. So that's going to get created for you, as well as we're going to take the actual 1 hour video and cut it into pieces, segments. So you'll have we'll upload 5 different videos to your YouTube channel. So 5 different segments will also get uploaded to your YouTube channel that we will cut and edit and brand for you. And then we'll also create 16 different social media posts, which will go to Facebook. And that'll be Facebook video, as well as Facebook just regular posts. We'll do Instagram, we'll do Twitter, and we'll do LinkedIn, and we will do Pinterest. So you'll get 16 different postings of a variety of different styles, video, print, and text, going to a variety of different platforms. So with that, you investing that 1 hour per week to do that branded show, we're going to deliver all of this content for you from that one show. So you invest the 1 hour time per week, and we invest the time to repurpose the content, distribute the content. So we're going to invest that 10 hours distributing the content, as well as engaging with other people. Okay, so not only are you going to get, just let me go back here. Not only do you get all of this repurposing done for you, but we're also going to invest the 10 hours a week on your behalf to distribute and do some engaging of the content. So from your standpoint, you no longer have the challenge of the skills needed to strategize and to put all this together. You no longer have the challenge of the resources of not knowing how to do all this stuff, or not knowing where to go to get all this stuff done. You no longer have the challenge of time, because your time commitment is only the 1 hour per week, and you no longer have the challenge of the strategy, because the strategy is completely done for you. Okay, so that is the authority acceleration blueprint. So with a small investment on time on your side to do the 1 hour of Facebook Live video that we're going to help you with and we're going to produce for you, on the back end, on the other end, we're going to have and create all of this content for you and distribute it and engage it. So we will actually help you execute the authority acceleration formula with you and for you, so that your time commitment over the 100 days is basically the 1 hour a week over, let's say, 15 weeks. So approximately 15 hours of time commitment on your behalf in order for us to create all the repurposed content, as well as spend the 10 hours per week on the engagement, as well as the distribution of that content. And during that time frame, over that time frame, we will help position and establish you as the expert or the authority in your marketplace, and you'll be seen as sort of your celebrity brand status will then be elevated to a much higher level, because you have so much content, valuable content on a variety of different platforms and a variety of different mediums, all reaching out and attracting new cold audience that you're going to turn into a warm audience and eventually a hot audience once you get them to buy into your products or service. So remember, it all starts with the strategy, laying the foundation, and spending that 1 hour a week, investing that 1 hour a week of your time into creating that initial piece of content, and then being able to repurpose that content, distribute, engage, and you do that consistently and persistently for the 100 days. But that is how to build and create your celebrity status in 100 days or less. So with that, I want to thank you very much for joining me on today's show, the John A. McCabe Show. Hopefully you saw some value in today's show. And again, just thank you for joining me on today's show. And if you have any questions or comments on any of the stuff that I talked about today, just type them in the comments section, and or send me a private message, and I'll get back to you with regards to how it is that we can help you in your business, accelerate your authority, build your celebrity status over the next 100 days. If you feel that this strategy is something that you want to explore a little bit further, and you're willing to just invest the 15 hours needed in order to make this happen, and then allow us to do the rest of the work, then send me a PM, and we'll talk about the entire strategy a little bit more in depth and how it can benefit you. But for today on Business Strategy Tuesday, I think that brings to a close the end of the show. So I just want to thank you for joining me, and as always, just stick around for my closing remarks, and I'll see you on tomorrow's show. Well, thanks for joining me on today's John A. McCabe Show, where we work with entrepreneurs, business owners, authors, experts, and speakers get seen, get heard, get noticed anywhere, anytime, on any device. Now, also known as the Authority Acceleration Blueprint. Now, if you're someone who's looking to take your business to the next level and want to get some coaching advice, why not apply to be a guest on today's show? Now, for most entrepreneurs, we want to create a life of our own, create our own path, and do what we can to reach our own desired outcome, which is generally freedom. Freedom to choose what we want to do, when we want to do it, and with whom we want to do it. A life that's full of options and choices, where we worry less about money and more about the quality of time that we spend with others. Now, a great way to make that happen is to leverage other people's knowledge, time, and skill sets. Step one to reaching our freedom life is to realize that you can't do it alone. Working with a coach or being involved in masterminds is a great way for entrepreneurs to move their business forward. Now, a coach can help you shorten the time frame to get you from where you are to where you want to be, while being part of a mastermind is meant to bring entrepreneurs together, all with the goal of helping each other move forward with their business. Now, the second step to creating the life you envision for yourself as an entrepreneur is to implement systems into your business so you can streamline your operations, leverage systems, and free up your time to focus on your family, having fun, and the highest leverage activities in your business. You know, the activities that get you the biggest return on your time invested, the ones that truly make you money. Now, sometimes we just don't know what systems we need, how to implement those systems, or even have the time to find out what is needed. Now, working with a coach or consultant that understands, uses, and specializes in systems that can streamline your operations can help save you time, aggravation, and make you a lot more money. Now, for example, having a system or strategy that allows you to leverage just 15 hours of your time into enough repurposed content to get you seen, get you heard, get you noticed anywhere, anytime, on any device is a great example of leverage. Now, just imagine a system where you invest just 15 hours of your time, and the end result is you're a #1 best-selling author. You have enough content that's going to get you seen, get you heard, get you noticed anywhere, anytime, on any device. You have a successful podcast. Now, it's automatically attracting more attention, giving more value, and generating more leads, which enables you to attract an abundance of paying customers. Now, this is also known as the Authority Acceleration Blueprint. Now, to find out more about the Authority Acceleration Blueprint, coaching program, or mastermind, then contact me via my website at johnamccabe.com or connect with me through my show's Facebook page. Now, again, thank you for joining us on today's show, and I look forward to seeing you on tomorrow's show when I have another great guest on discussing their business and accelerating their authority. So have yourself an amazing day, and I look forward to seeing you again real soon.